Before I begin this video, I just wanted to apologize for this extremely late upload. I've been caught up with school and personal matters over these past 2 weeks. I will hopefully be back on track now, so let's begin. So the LG G5 and the S7 just released. Both amazing devices and with some killer specs which wouldn't fail to disappoint their users. The iPhone SE recently launched but not yet available. However, that's just Apple, with one sole company providing the operating system and updates. Today's video is focusing on Android, its variety, then companies, its history, and how it competes with Apple themselves. Hey guys, it's Sai back again from Tech Translated, and welcome to another video. Android is a huge name today. Google has said that there are 1.4 billion active Android devices worldwide compared to 1 billion iOS users. 400 million extra Android users is a huge number and an advantage in my opinion, which they totally deserve. There are many Android companies out there such as LG, Samsung, Sony, HTC, Motorola, Google themselves and hundreds more. Due to there being such a huge Android community rather than the single Apple one, there is much more space for creativity and unique ideas. For example, Samsung came out with Edge displays and we just saw LG with an amazing modular design. Not to forget HTC have some killer boom sound speakers. So we have this huge space of creativity which really attracts customers and shocks them. But then we see Apple still stuck at 12 megapixel cameras and no AMOLED displays. However, Apple are still a really good company and they always do something unique with every device revealed. However, I think it simply isn't enough. So Android originally began with the T-Mobile G1 in 2008 on the October the 22nd. Since then, it has been 5 years and Android has come a long way. In the space of 5 years, they have released 11 different operating systems which everyone waited for and loved. These systems have been named over treats such as Lollipop, Donut, Honeycomb and much more. Many are still anticipating the arrival of the current Android N, which is in developer preview and which I personally think will be called Nutella or Nougat. They brought features like the drop-down notification bar, widgets, copy to clipboard, live wallpapers, face unlock and much more. However, having many companies on one system isn't necessarily a good thing. With lots of companies offering their own thing, they each provide more or less bloatware. Bloatware is what tech savs refer to as unnecessary apps by the provider or company which you may or may not use, and they are pre-installed, meaning you cannot delete them. Say if you paid for a 32GB Samsung Galaxy S6 model, you would probably only receive 33 or 34GB. As the system and those apps take up space themselves, it means that despite being unique and do it different, not everyone is going to get the same experience as people will own devices crafted by different companies. So, here comes a thing called skin. Different companies have different skins over the current Android software running on their devices in hope to offer a more unique experience and perhaps offer more features than stock Android can offer. Stock Android is just untouched Android system. It runs on Google devices and a few others, but it is the most complete Android experience, whereas companies like Samsung have touches over it and HTC have HTC Sense. These skins can sometimes appear to be ugly and annoying to use for some people. However, I have had no problem using the Samsung and LG skins of the devices I have used in my life so far. So how does this all compete with Apple? Well, there is an upcoming video on Apple OS as well, where I will go into much more detail. But for now, I think Android offers a whole lot more. See, when you open an Apple iPhone or iPad, you go straight to what is known as the app drawer on Android. Nothing else. No customization, no widgets, no fancy colors, nothing. Yes, there's a whole lot more on the lock screen, but you don't use your apps on that, do you? On the other hand, you unlock an Android device and you are greeted to a customized home screen, your apps, your folders, your widgets and how you want it to look. However, we cannot forget Apple's 3D touch and their live photos, which I really like. They are such entertaining and convenient ways of using one's mobile device. However, there is a lot more to a phone than just home screen. There's cameras, animation, speeds, and a whole lot more. Another quick competition is cameras. Android is much larger, more companies, more creativity, and more ideas. meaning more variety of cameras. There are better sensors in some devices which are better or equal to Apple, or there are some cameras worse to its Android brothers and also Apple. Overall, Android is amazing. Apple is not that bad, but in my opinion it could still do with a lot of work. They produce some amazing devices, but pricing also comes into play. For the price of the new iPhone SE 64GB model, you could get a Samsung Galaxy S5 or the OnePlus 2 for much less and still offer better specs. Android have shown a lot of amazing features so far, and the companies involved have continued to surprise everyone. Hopefully Android has a lot planned for the future and we can see a lot more from them. So that concludes this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks a lot for watching. My name's Bean Sai. I'll catch you next time.
I'm climbing up the